The beginning of the trapping season has arrived, and master trapper Tom ORS is establishing new standards. The act of cutting and trailing is always a challenging one to perform. In the same way that I am, there are undoubtedly a lot of individuals who are still working at the age of 75. It is a difficult task, but I am able to complete it. Tom has gained a lot of notoriety for his part on Mountain Men as well as his rough and tumble lifestyle in the Yak River Valley in Montana. Following his departure from the program, fans are interested in learning what transpired following his absence. A number of speculations have surfaced recently suggesting that he will be quitting the program in order to put his health first. Not only that, but Tom has also been the target of speculations that he intends to pass away. In spite of the rumors, he did make a comeback to the program during the course of its 12th season. What is the reason that Tom decided to take a vacation from the program at this point? Come with us as we uncover the truth about what actually transpired with the former rodeo cowboy. In spite of the fact that Tom has been living in the wilderness for several decades, his way of life did not begin overnight. Tom was born in Rockford, Illinois, in 1943, and he spent his childhood watching his father perform around the United States. Wild West performances are performed. Tom was imbued with a deep-seated desire to live in the wilderness at a young age as a result of the tough lifestyle. The majority of his boyhood was spent with him and his elder brother Jack, traveling about freely and practicing trick riding whenever they had the opportunity. Due to the fact that their father was a horseman, he instructed his young sons on how to do stunts while riding a horse that was running. Tom was able to endure the dangers that were associated with trick riding, and from that experience he developed a desire for living on the edge. Soon after he became 15, he became interested in rodeo, which was another pleasure he had. It was just as difficult for him to get started in rodeo as it was for him to experience life in the wild. When he was talking about how strange his life was, he disclosed that his mother had once driven him to the edge of town and dumped him off there with his bull rope and rigging bag. When he arrived in Ohio, he hitchhiked there and joined a rodeo circuit, where he competed by riding bulls and bucking horses. By the beginning of the 1960s, Tom had established himself as a champion rider thanks to his ascent through the ranks of the International Rodeo Association organization. He was successful in every facet of rodeo, making it to the finals on a regular basis and finishing in the top 10 of the rankings. On Valentine's Day in 1970, however, he was riding a large bull when he was involved in an accident that came dangerously close to taking his life. This event occurred. In the same manner that he had done in the past, Tom began his rodeo routine on that fatal day. As soon as the chute opened, there was an immediate outbreak of commotion, and the bull forcefully flung him around as it did so. Tom was knocked unconscious as a result of the tremendous contact, and the bull continued to pull him around the arena again and over again. Despite the fact that all of the viewers in the stadium were standing in horror, his wife Nancy, who was watching from the stands, was the most terrified. Tom was finally rescued from the bull after a few minutes of rampage, and he was transported to the hospital on a stretcher immediately afterward. It took him 3 hours after arriving at the hospital before he was able to regain consciousness. Despite the fact that he made it through the trauma, his rodeo career was profoundly altered as a result. When Tom and Nancy decided to leave the rodeo industry, they went into the Wild West. On the surface, their property in Yak Valley appeared to be an ideal location for the couple. The moment they made the decision to relocate into the bush, they did not hesitate to put their belongings into their pickup truck. During its first few years in the wild, the OES had a difficult time. They established themselves by laboriously constructing a log hut, and they depended on their abilities to hunt and trap in order to ensure their existence. Tom uses freshly cut willow branches to entice the beaver into the trap. You have to make sure that the hole that you've chopped in the ice is wide enough for the pole that supports the trap, he says. Well, this is the bait that the beaver is going to try to eat, someone said. The beaver is going to come and try to eat it. A few years later, as Tom was wandering around an Indian store, he came across a pamphlet that cost $3 and detailed the traditional methods of brain tanning used by Native Americans. The implications of this revelation were significant for both him and his wife. During the time that he was selling hides at black powder rendezvous gatherings, he became an expert in the technique of changing hides into leather that was both supple and durable. Soon after that, he launched his own apparel company consisting of brain-tan buckskin. In a short amount of time, his company became well known. The new venture that Tom started helped boost his renown, and eventually he got the notice of show producers who were looking to showcase people who lived off the grid. Moving forward in time to the year 2012, he became a part of the original cast of Mountain Men, which was a television show. The fact that Tom is becoming older usually causes fans to be more anxious about his well-being, and in recent years he has been the target of numerous rumors that he has passed away. Many of his followers were left perplexed as a result of these stories, which led to concerns for the health of both Tom and his companion. Concocted rumors on the internet will undoubtedly spread more quickly than any real information that he supplies, especially for someone who lives in a remote location distant from society. The assumption that Tom had passed away was not something that appeared out of thin air. Several factors contributed to its growing popularity. In the year 2020, a media source published a phony obituary, which was one of the main causes that led to the event. It was stated in the obituary that Tom had died away, however, the specifics that were supplied were not accurate. The obituary also contained information about how he had spent his life. In spite of the fact that it was not accurate, the media source presented a picture that was so convincing that it was believed by people who read it. The post was published, and almost immediately after that it spread like wildfire over all of the social media networks. Fans and lovers of the former rodeo cowboy began sending words of sorrow and spreading the post without first conducting the necessary research. Because additional admirers spread the bogus information, the myth spread to an even broader audience, leading many people to assume that Tom had actually passed away. The fact that Tom appeared on Mountain Men less frequently, notably during and after the 9th season, was another significant reason that contributed to the rumor's increase in popularity. After his followers saw that he had been absent from the program for an extended period of time, they began to speculate about his health. And as a guy who was in his late 70s at the time, many people believed that the hypothesis was correct. A true health issue was reported in an episode of the 11th season of the program, which led to the rumors being more widespread. During the course of the episode, Tom became concerned about his breathing during the night and sought medical attention. During the course of his examination, it was discovered that his heart was not operating at its potential. Despite the fact that he was able to overcome the health crisis and continue living his life, the experience provided some legitimacy to the rumors that were going around on the internet. Now that we know Tom escaped a health emergency, the question is whether he is still alive or whether he has passed away, as several mainstream media sites have reported. According to a number of accounts, Tom went away without any pain or suffering in Lakeland, Florida, in the year 2024. He was 81 years old. They stated that they did not know what caused his death. Tom ORS is said to be alive according to other evidence. The health concern that viewers witnessed on the show was the impetus for the rumors that caused his death to be a possibility. This terrifying event took place when Tom unexpectedly awoke in the middle of the night with symptoms that were consistent with heart failure. The experienced trapper was taken off of his land in the Yak River Valley and taken to the health center where he had a medical examination. On the spot, his wife Nancy took decisive action and accompanied him there. When Tom was evaluated, cardiologists found that his heart was no longer functioning correctly. This was discovered when Tom was examined. In addition to this, they found that he had some fluid that was sitting in his lungs. To remedy this situation, Tom was prescribed medicine that would assist in strengthening his heart. In addition to that, he started wearing a heart rate monitor so that the doctors could keep track of his condition. It wasn't just that though. Tom had to begin wearing a defibrillator vest as a result of the location of their cabin, which is around 80 miles distant from the closest hospital. The purpose of this was to safeguard him in the event of a medical emergency. The fact that the mountain man's medical problem has been treated makes it abundantly evident that he is still alive and in good health. Additionally, if Tom's medicine works as intended, it is possible that he will not even require surgery. Consequently, this brings up another question: during the time that Tom was absent, where did he go? The fact that Tom and his wife Nancy do not make Yak River Valley their permanent residence is something that a lot of admirers are unaware of. At the conclusion of each season, the couple travels back to Florida, where they have a house with their family and where the environment is milder. Consequently, whenever the couple realizes that they are in need of a break, they immediately get into their pickup truck and drive off to the state of Florida. It is possible that the death rumors are insulting to Tom's supporters, yet the fact that neither Tom nor the producers of the program addressed the claims is what caused them to explode in popularity. Following the initial appearance of the rumors on the internet, supporters often waited for official announcements to either confirm or not confirm the rumors. On the other hand, nobody who was close to Tom came up to provide an explanation of the situation straight away. Fans were left in a state of anxiety for a considerable amount of time before he made a comeback in the subsequent show. The fans of Mountain Men really cannot bear the thought of Tom leaving the program anytime soon, because he is without a doubt one of the most admired characters on the show. On the other hand, his diminished presence not only led to conjecture about his passing, but it also led to rumors about him quitting the program. Since Tom made his return to the program, the speculations have changed in a different direction. At this point, the suspicions are primarily focused on his moving to Florida with his family in order to retire. As was the case with the first rumor, this one began after supporters saw that Tom's screen time had substantially decreased. Tom, who is considered to be one of the show's key stars, has made more appearances than any other member of the cast. Viewers were left wondering about the cause behind his decreased screen time as a result of his absence, which certainly left them wondering. As a result of the event that was captured in season 11, some fans came to the conclusion that it was a health crisis. However, some fans speculated that Tom could have retired in order to enjoy a warmer and calmer atmosphere away from the cameras. In addition to this, neither Tom nor his wife addressed the question in any of the interviews that they gave. As you may have guessed, this resulted in followers going to social media in order to spread speculations that were not true. Is Tom Brady going to be quitting the program anyway? We came over here to have a look at the retirement community that was mentioned to us by some of our friends. They told us that there was a retirement community located on the beach that we need to come and check out. I don't even have a clear understanding of what it means to retire now. To put it another way, does that indicate that you should just stop everything and rest there? What do you do with your time once you retire? The two individuals have not yet settled on whether or not they would hang up their boots. I don't even know if I can retire, they said. In spite of the hard winter and the difficulties that come with living in such a remote region, Tom and Nancy are eager to continue their lifestyle of homesteading. In the first episode of the 11th season, while the pair was getting ready for the challenging winter ahead of the first episode, you would see the commitment that they had for one another. During the second episode of the 11th season, Tom came back to work alongside his trapping companion Sean McFeely. The two of them collaborated in order to establish the winter trap line. Even though he has a health problem, Tom always provides his best performance in every episode that he is a part of. Despite the fact that Tom and his wife remain to be members of Mountain Men, there were times when they contemplated leaving the band. One of the factors that played a role in this decision was the absence of privacy requirements. Through an interview with American Cowboy, Tom disclosed a few of the difficulties that they encountered as a result of their newly acquired celebrity. In spite of the fact that they reside in the midst of the national forest, he claimed that more than 300 people come to their cabin every summer to take photographs with them and shake their hands. While Tom may not enjoy all the attention and intrusion, he certainly does adore his fans. Don't get the wrong idea about him.
During the course of the conversation, he expressed that his fans have a crucial place in his heart, and that it is always a pleasure to meet and converse with them. Tom has had a life that can only be described as extraordinary. In the years leading up to his relocation to the Yak River wilderness, he was a rodeo cowboy for a substantial portion of his journey through life. Because of this, he was more prepared to handle the mental and physical challenges that he would face on the show. When he finally made his home in the wilderness, he experienced what many people believe to be an extreme lifestyle as being genuine and simple. He has claimed in the past that he had the impression that he was born either 150 or 200 years late. Despite the fact that Tom is still very much present on the program, as seen by the profiles of the cast members, he is aware that his way of life cannot continue uninterrupted for an infinite amount of time. During an interview with American Cowboy, Tom made a veiled reference to the prospect of retiring by stating, "It's just me and Nancy and our old Dodge pickup. We can't keep doing this forever." He also reflected on the demanding nature of their lifestyle, saying, "I used to tell Nancy that one of these days she'll probably find me stretched out dead." While Tom continues to live his rugged life for now, his candid admissions in the interview made it clear that his time on the show might be nearing an end. It is also something that viewers will notice that although Tom is still involved in the program, the amount of time he spends on screen has significantly decreased. Does that imply that Tom is going away from the program in a gradual manner? It would appear that this is the case. Tom and his wife are said to have made the decision to go to Florida permanently, according to reports. His decision to relocate to Florida unquestionably shows a shift in the values that he places on his life. According to him, he needed to devote more of his attention to his health and to spending time with his family. However, Tom continues to make cameos on Mountain Men on a sporadic basis, demonstrating that even if he is no longer a full-time cast member, he is not fully severing his links with the series. Now that it has been confirmed that Tom is still playing a significant role in the program, let's find out what his function is. The plot of Mountain Men centers on Tom and other cast members, including Eustace Conway, Jason Hawk, Rich Lewis, Marty Miodo, and others, who have made the decision to live off the grid in isolated rural places. For their survival, the group is completely reliant on traditional methods, which include fending off wild creatures and weathering harsh weather conditions. The character of Tom is presented on the program as an experienced cast member who lives in the vicinity of the Yak River in northwestern Montana. During the opening episode of the first season, he was introduced alongside his wife Nancy as they were attempting to live in the tough weather conditions. Ever since they made their debut, the two individuals have continued making appearances in future seasons of Mountain Men, where they have been living in a remote location, far away from contemporary luxuries and technology. In each episode, Tom demonstrates his mastery of tanning techniques that are based on natural ingredients. He demonstrates the creativity that is involved in traditional leather work by shaping the tanned skins into objects that are both utilitarian and ornamental. Some examples of these goods are garments and moccasins. Similarly, the show covers Tom's activities of hunting and trapping, which are vital for supplying him with nutrition and raw materials for his crafts. Additionally, viewers are able to experience the excitement of watching Tom and his wife make preparations for the hard winters that are typical in Montana. As part of their routine preparations, they frequently cut firewood, stockpile food, and reinforce their log home that they have constructed. It was during the 10th episode of the 9th season when the brilliant trapper celebrated his 77th birthday, which is one of the most memorable events inside the program. The episode, which was named Tom's Big Day, showed Nancy taking Tom by surprise and delivering him the surprise of his life. Tom's ongoing presence on the program acts as a bridge between the audience and the traditions of wilderness life that are becoming less prevalent. This is despite the fact that Tom makes a respectable salary, which is sufficient to allow him to retire in luxury. And while we are on the subject of a respectable salary, only a select few fans are aware of how wealthy the cast members of Mountain Men are. According to a report that may be relied upon, all of the members receive around $115,000 for each show. In other words, their annual salary ranges from $150,000 to $240,000, depending on the amount of episodes that were shot during that particular year. Tom, who was one of the initial stars, has appeared in 13 seasons and is said to have a net worth that is greater than $200,000. I would want to bring to your attention the fact that a significant portion of his wealth is derived from his crafting and his appearances on television. Beyond Mountain Men, Tom is the proprietor of a retail establishment. The subject of whether or not Tom will be back for a new season has been brought up on several occasions. Fans have been speculating about the potential of Tom ending his career and permanently relocating to Florida with his wife ever since the fourth season. The fact is, however, that he keeps coming back season after season. Therefore, in the event that Tom makes the decision to retire, it is quite probable that he and the production business will make an official statement. Aside from that, he is still quite busy in the business, and he will be returning to the screen in the near future.